Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. I spoke to Elliot in between the last episode and this one, and so now I have answers to some of my questions about how the heck Arena works. Or it's not called Arena, Arena was a name they had for it in the prototype, or that they talked about before calling it before it existed, and like because Hearthstone called it Arena and so on, but just call it Ranked Play. First question that struck me was like, how many chances do I have to complete this ticket, right? When do I run out of lives, out of tries? I need to get 7 medals before what? And the answer is like before nothing. You can keep going as long as you want. The ticket here is basically just a guarantee that you will get some prizes eventually, provided you can string together 3 wins before the actual human playing the game, collapses and dies. I don't think there's any expiration date. So that answers a couple of questions, right? One is like the basic question of how long do I have to complete this, and the other one I had was like, what happens if I don't win, if I don't make it? And I'm like, well, answer, it's impossible. But if I wanted to, I could tear up my ticket, I guess. And I also had a different question answered. So I've played some in between our last session and this one, like while eating or whatever, and not able to record. It looks like I was playing all on base 8, which I had not done on purpose, but went fine. What's a cool one to look at just to show you guys? Actually, the last one I played was kind of cool. Kind of weird one. And I had complained. So okay, this is, well, first let's look at this board so we can say what's going to happen here. Obviously, I've already played the match, so I have a little bit more insight than I did the first time I looked. But you know, there's a lot of blue stuff here, and we have this big absorber in Omega Splitter, and also in Energy Matrix, so we should be able to go relatively high economy. And there's some useful stuff to do with your blue, like right away. You could build Deadeyes. I think you guys have seen Deadeyes before. They cost a little bit of money, but a lot of blue, and over the course of 3 turns, you can use them to destroy 3 enemy drones. So this is a cool thing. You might want to open blue and then more blue. Might want green eventually or something. So anyway, I said we're both gonna go for big blue and get Deadeyes, and like, is Wild Drone good in that? I don't remember exactly. Yes, I ended up going for Wild Drone NG. I don't know if this is actually a good play. It lets you buy 3 drones the next turn, so it seems good, but... Or even build Wild Drone plus another drone? Ooh. And from there... Ah, yes. I was able to get drone and then double Blast Forge. So these 2 Wild Drones each saved me $1, allowing me to build some more stuff so that I could get out Deadeyes right away. Was it the right idea? I don't know, maybe. But that was the idea of... I guess I actually did count out how those Wild Drones were going to work, or maybe I just lucked into this, who knows. I chose to let him kill 1 engineer, and I started building Deadeyes and walls and stuff. So, and they got the 3rd Blast Forge so I could build a wall and more Deadeyes. So here's where I can show off like what I was actually thinking of is, let's say I chose, where's an analyze, right? Let's say I chose to just build 2 drones here, or 3 drones. Right, because what you can actually do is build Wild Drone. Let's say I chose to instead build 3 drones. My opponent say build some more drones, whatever. I can... I don't even know what I was gonna... Like, I can do this, right? I can build 2 Blast Forges, but I can't do it while building a drone. So, fine. That's what the earlier Wild Drone gained me. And it's like, now how do I get back to the replay? I've always been clicking escape to get back to the replay, because that's how you get to analysis mode, is you click escape. But it turns out that down here is a restart analysis button, which takes you back to the main line of the replay. And I just never look at this because I never looked down here, because why would I do that? I use the keyboard to control moving through turns. So I've never looked at these playback controls. Okay, and then there's a list of stuff. Okay, whatever. But, okay, so we can say restart analysis. Fine. So that's mainly what I wanted to show you, is that this does exist, although I wish they would put it on this menu, since this is like how you get to analysis mode, and it feels like it should be how you get out. But anyway, I think that's the open questions that I had. So let's get started on some more ranked play. And I sort of expect to continue getting mostly murdered. We won the first game, but I think we lost 3 or 4 more since then. And that's fine. My ranking is still a bit, like, inflated. Yeah, we lost 3 more. My ranking's a bit inflated from when I used to be a better player long, long ago. And we just have to lose enough that... Kulenich. This name sounds familiar, but I don't remember. Okay, we have ossified drones. I love ossified drones. Can I find an excuse to build them here? We have Steel Forge, which should help for getting Omegas. Strong red defense in this set, actually. Interesting. So that's a good, like, maybe you can use red to defend yourself while you're building these, spending all your blue on these big guys. I mean, I think it's obviously, oops. Ooh. I wonder if I should have gone with some Doom drones earlier to let me build another engineer. 2 Doom drones plus an Engie? I don't think that's right, but worth considering. I've done it before, but I think it was as player 1 that I did something like that, right? It would let me build like a blast forge here if I'd done something like that. Maybe it would have been a good idea. Oh well. So I kind of want to get 1 blast forge going so that I can build a steel forge relatively early. Or I can build a steel forge relatively early and cheaper than my second blast forge. But I don't really have much need for a second blast forge just yet, right? 3 is the magic number, not 2. So I don't really want to build that until I can build 2 exactly. I might want to go Animus first, because there's going to be a use for red like all game long, whether it's ossified drones, which I don't want exactly right away, but I can build like some Tarsiers right now, can't I? It's kind of hard to get up to the big blue while building Tarsiers here. Arca's gonna feature here as well, because if your opponent has these big absorbers, paying 7 attacks not really a big deal. So what's my next turn look like? Spend 9 on some drones, I'll have 11. I can build 2 Tarsiers. I won't be able to build another Blast Forge. Maybe I can build Tarsier ossified? That seems okay. I don't know. I just love ossified drone. I don't think it's actually that great of an idea, but it's a red sync that you can. The sooner you get it going, the more advantage you get out of it. So I kind of want to do like this. And now, even though I'm not really going to be spending, like, now I don't have to build Tarsiers, right? I can use my red. So the idea is these guys, you pay a little bit for them once. And now I have a red sink available for the rest of the game that I can spend red but no money on. Oh my god, my opponent already has Omegas. I feel so bad. Alright, I'm building a wall and a blast forge. And a steel forge. Oh no, sorry. I get them mixed up. Whatever, I'm building all this stuff. And I don't have much money left to build stuff. But, ooh, actually, Corpus is even better, right? Because that means I can spend 19 next turn on building something that's like better than a wall. And also an Omega. Meanwhile, my Tarsier is threatening to attack him, so it's a little bit uncomfortable for him to attack with the Omega. Right, he kind of wants to build a wall, but he also wants to attack, because it is killing one of my husks. Oh, he's converted another one. Interesting. So we're building the Omega, and we're clicking this, and we're clicking this. And, like, that's an effective use of our stuff. Right? He's built another steel forge so that he can continue building Omegas. But I like my Corpus and my ossified drones. I might actually want another Animus, actually. Well, okay, we're building a steel splitter here, right? Or Omega. Next turn, I think we're building Arca, right? Well, maybe I don't want to attack with both of these. But he's going to next turn, right? He's building an Arca. Yeah, so I guess I'll build one next turn as well. I think. If I do that, I won't be defending with the Omega. No Arca. That's interesting. Why not? Arca's a more efficient way to get your attack going than whatever else you just did. Right? Like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna build the Arca. Right now my attack does literally nothing, so might as well. I'll click the Corpus while I have a chance and some money. Build like a steel splitter. A couple Doom drones. Seems good. See, his Doom drones last turn were on defense, but I wasn't gonna attack. And now I'm threatening actually quite a lot of attack. Yeah, my Arca soaks up all of his damage, so it was perfectly fine to attack with the Omega. I have an even better Absorber coming up. And I don't think it matters too much which of these I attack with versus defend with. They're both sort of accomplishing a similar goal. I probably want to hold one of them, but it doesn't really matter which. Doesn't matter much anyway. So we're building the Omega, and let's put in another Corpus. And a Doom drone. Sure. Probably want to hold one of these back, though. Well, it improves my Absorb by 3 and does 3 less damage to him. Right? It is 3 less damage. Doesn't it come out about the same, then? I'd like to pressure him, I guess. Since his Doom drones are... I don't know. He's gonna have a Doom drones to hold back anyway. So, okay, how does he defend this way? He loses wall and... He loses just a wall. No, 2 NGs? 2 Doom drones and 2 NGs. If I attack, he loses the 2 Doom drones, wall NG. Let's do it this way. So I'd like to keep an eye on the Corpuses here, but I think it's fine to run them out a little bit early. They're, while I'm building Omegas, they're a good way to keep my defense. Don't lose the, dumb, don't lose the Corpus. I guess that's the reason to have kept back my Omega, is now I have to lose a Doom drone. I didn't think of that. Or an ossified drone. So we're holding one of these guys back. Yikes. Really? I didn't realize I was, Definitely should have held one back last turn, huh? I can't even click my ossifieds. They're all about to die. Right? Like I have to hold back a steel splitter as well? Just so... I mean, he's... This way... Yeah. Alright, we'll click one more Doom Drone. And build an engineer. He sort of, like, isn't likely to attack for everything unless I give him a chance to, right? In which case... Okay, I'm feeling not great about this now. But alright, you know, so I finally am done building Omegas, which means I can start spending blue on defense. The fact that my red defense is wearing off, or running out, you might say, is a little bit less uncomfortable since I have access to blue for defense now. I do want to keep clicking ossifieds so that I can actually afford to lose them. I want to have enough of these that I can, like, lose some and still have some to defend. What if I were to attack a little bit differently? Hold back the Arca instead of the Omega. Then I don't have to hold back the drone, and I can build a doomed drone. Next turn I'll have some doomed drones to hold back. Boy, he is attacking for, well, it's not that much more than I am, right? Because he's holding back 3 attack, but still, it is more. And he's building more attackers. I'm not happy about this. How is he on walls, by the way? He's a little bit down on walls. But he's in Corpus mode, so... 3 walls left. Okay, this is good news. I like to see him holding back drones. Oops, just one of these, please. We're not clicking any ossified drones because we're building this, right? Which, right now, we're like keeping alive just the one ossified drone, which is a little uncomfortable. I'd rather keep more alive than that. Wait a minute. A breach? Sign me up. I can defend this. I don't get to keep my ossified drones unless I hold this guy back. Or I guess this guy. And I'll just build another Doom drone. And now that he's lost one of his big defenders and got no absorb this turn, I think I'm feeling okay. Ah, I'm gonna keep my Corpus alive is what I'm gonna keep alive if he attacks with everything. But I don't think he will. He can't afford to get breached again. So I'm losing all the Doom drone, or God, ossified drones, if that happens, but I don't think it will. Nice. So I'm not sure what happened in this game. Why did I win it? I felt pretty bad, and then suddenly I won. Did he just miscalculate, or was he in some sort of position where he couldn't win? Where was the big breach? Here. So we'll go back and analyze the opening later, but first I want to see what happened in the end game here. I would be inclined, by the way, normally to have called this the mid game. We're still able to defend reasonably well. We have a lot of attack, but we're not in the phase of like needing to hold back drones desperately. So what did happen? Did he run out of walls? No. Why did he think that this was enough? He could have done more. He could have held back a steel splitter. He couldn't have held back another drone, I guess. So maybe, did he think I was somehow losing an attacker? No. I don't understand. Did he just, like, miscount? Do you think... So, the main thing I think is, like, okay, he realized I'm not losing an attacker. I think that's relatively clear, right? I'm only defending with one attacker. I'm obviously absorbing onto it. Maybe he thought that I couldn't afford to take advantage of the offer. For some reason. Right? Maybe he was thinking, you know, if I go for the breach, then I won't be able to defend. But it's pretty comfortable for me to defend, really. And... yeah, I'm not sure what's up. Maybe he just, like, assumed that I would hold back an Arca or something, but I don't think I should if he's offering me the breach. Seems weird. Alright, back to the beginning. I mean, I'll take the wins. So first question is, should I have made my opening better with Doom drones? I could have cut one of these drones. Yes, this is exactly the opening that I looked at, like, really recently, right? A recent game was high econ with Doom drones. As player 2, if you cut one drone, then you can build a Doom drone and an NG, and that's better by like $2 whole, unless you want to build a conduit on turn 2, in which case it's worse. Or turn 3 or something like that. Which I obviously don't want to do here. We're going blue-red. So that was a mistake. I cost myself some gold for no real reason. And I would have, like, here, I would have had $3 instead of 4. But it doesn't matter, I didn't use the $4. And then on this turn, I would have caught up and had the exact same amount of money, but a Doom drone with lifespan, like, 1 or 2 or something. And the same number of drones, importantly. So I opened red. This is, I think... I don't know. Is this good? His plan was to, like, rush through blue to get Omegas right away. And build another Blast Forge to build more blue stuff. Or another Steel Forge, right? Which is certainly possible. We both recognized the problem that when you build Omegas... By the way, he floated his blue this turn. I feel like he should have cut the drones and built a Steel Splitter or something. I don't know. Oh, Doom drones don't cost energy. Okay. Right, because they're consuming a drone. Fine. We both recognize that there's going to be trouble using up all of your blue if you have 3 Blast Forges, the typical amount to build Omega Splitters. My plan was to not use blue to defend during that time, make use of the powerful red defenders in the set. His plan was to just have 4 blue. But I think I like mine better? Well, I don't know. Maybe what I should have done was, like, at this point, like, I focused on the defenses a little bit too soon, I think, with Ossified. If I had cut this and built, like, a Tarsier, well, I can't, right? That's the thing. I can't build 2 Tarsiers. Right, I was thinking of doing that during the game, but you can't actually do it. I don't know, it sort of feels like you would rather use the red to build attackers for a while, and only late transition into using it for defenders. But if you're gonna do that, you have to build 4 blast forges, which is what he did. And like, once you're done building Omegas, you're not gonna want that 4th blast forge, right? Whereas you're never gonna be sad to have an Animus, and maybe 3 blast forges is more than you want, but you'd certainly rather have that than 4 once you're done building Omegas. You're not gonna build 4 walls per turn, right? So it's sort of wasted tech, but the steel forges, like, I don't know, you can, there's a blue sync, right? They are a blue sync, you can just click them. But we never really got to that point. Maybe he would have eventually. Or maybe he actually did and I just didn't notice. If he'd been clicking his steel forges, that's another good way to defend, is just like build cheap walls that cost extra blue. And a drone. So he got the first Omega, fine. But my Corpus and Wall were there in time, so that if he attacks with it, it doesn't kill much. And plus he doesn't really want to attack with it, we just trade engineers, right? So he's got a lead in Omegas, and he builds a Steel Splitter, which I think is like... He didn't build it by clicking a Steel Forge, right? Right, he actually built it. Okay. Of course, he doesn't have enough blue. So as I mentioned in the game, I think that was a great Steel Splitter, and it puts him in a perfect spot to try to arc at me, right? Because he's attacking for exactly 7. I guess he could even if he... Oh, he doesn't have red! He doesn't have red yet. I have red, but he doesn't have red, so he can't build an Arca. That explains the confusion. So he's attacking for 7, which does very little to me. But my Tarsier that I built has just come in, and I didn't plan this. I was just like, let's just build a Tarsier. But actually, it fits perfectly with the 2 Omegas to get me my Arca right away. And I have some money and some resources left over, so let's just sort of build some random stuff. And now he can build an Arca, but it's not that great for him. Because, like, my Arca, when I built it, what was I actually sacrificing, right? I'm attacking for 7. What's it gonna kill? Nothing. Literally nothing. He defends 2 Doom Drones onto Omega. And the Doom Drones were dying anyway. So the Arca sacrifices my 7 attack, which has no impact at all. And I basically just get a unit that says 7, 2 blue, and a red. Attack 4, block 7, which is, like, insane. His Arca, you know, fine, he builds it, and it's like, okay, but what was his 7 attack doing? It was killing, like, a wall and 4 husks. It was actually 7 attack. Arca is not nearly that good if the 7 attack actually does something. You want to build Arca right when you reach 7 so that your opponent is absorbing most of it. Or in my lucky case, all of it. And then paying the 7 attack for it is not that expensive. This took a lot of pressure off of me, letting me continue to more comfortably build Omegas and Corpuses and so on. Imagine if I had 7 less defense from him not building the Arca. Okay, he's attacking for 4 less, but call it 3 less because he's built some other attackers or something. He's attacking for 14 and I have 14, right? I have to find some other way to produce a little bit more defense this turn. So I'm not convinced that his Arca was actually good. But I guess he has all this blue, he has to find something to spend it on. I think he should start clicking Steel Forges pretty soon. I'm not sure. Also, it's questionable my decision to attack with everything here. Right? I struggled with this in the game. Should I hold back an Omega or Arca? I'm not sure. It lets me absorb more, which is nice, of course. But it attacks him. I absorb 3 more, but he takes 3 less damage, or likewise 4 with Arca. So it sort of is a toss-up whether you want to attack them or block. And I tried to answer the question of which of us is more susceptible to pressure right now. I came to the conclusion that it was him, although I don't know if that was right. Because he's trying to get his Ossifieds online for the first time. And he doesn't have much other defense, right? He just has to pile on the walls. which is not comfortable for him. It starts like eating into his wall supply pretty early, and if he just builds wall every turn, he's gonna be in trouble. Whereas I've been like using these corpses to defend, and I have walls until the cows come home. I guess I can actually... there. The supplies kind of matter, so we'll put them out. And he's holding back Omegas, suggesting that he's made a similar decision about which of us needs pressure. He has the same question, should I hold it or attack with it? It's sort of a toss-up. Which of us wants more pressure? And he's decided that, I guess, that he wants a lower amount of pressure, right? He wants the game to go on for longer. So at least he agrees with me, if we assume that he thought about it, which he probably did. On the other hand, next turn, right. At this point, I realized, oh my god, like, having to spend all my blue on this Omega Splitter, I'm suddenly, like, having a little bit of trouble defending, and also clicking ossified drones, right? So I had to hold back an attacker just to avoid being breached. So, okay, I guess I'm more sensitive than I thought. Who knows, if he had attacked last turn, could he have threatened even more and made it harder for me? Not sure. Okay, so this is all relatively straightforward. Questionable here to keep the ossified instead of, like, say, losing ossified Doom Drone and Steel Splitter. The attack is pretty good, but I want... It's hard to manage ossifieds because you want a smallish number of them to be blue at any given time. So you can, like, click some of them and still defend with some and still have some left. I don't know that I manage them perfectly. Well, in fact, I know that I don't. But it seems important to, like... You don't ever want to lose your last ossified because they're giving you +1 health every turn for free, just for some reds. You want to make sure there are some left. But I don't know exactly how to manage them correctly. Oh right, don't leave back the real drone, leave back the Doom drone. And now that I'm out of Omegas in my supply, I can start building walls. But I can't really comfortably hold attack with everything. So he's getting very minimal use out of his ossifieds. The corpus is coming in nicely, of course. But here's where he just makes this very strange decision to let me breach, and I think at this point it's over. Who's winning before this point? I'm not sure. Maybe him. He's actually clicking his steel forges. I should have done that. Right? Hang on. Let's look at my turn again. What the heck did I built this steel splitter. But aren't I floating blue? No, I'm not. I built 2 walls. Okay, that's fine, I guess. Alright. And then he lets me in, and I think it's basically over. I don't kill a Tarsier or anything, but I kill all of his absorb, and... like, how is he going to put together enough defense to survive this? Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, that was fun. A nice sort of long-ish game. 1500, wow. We made it up to the 1-5s. I still don't remember, is Will the same Will who's on the dev team or some other Will? I don't know. Anyway, that was a long episode, or long, not episode. Combat. Game. A long game. Good lord, I can't remember the word for game. Welcome to my channel, everyone. Anyway, so we're gonna wrap this episode up, and in the next episode, try to finish off this ticket. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.